From Storm Tracker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
In Grand Ledge this morning, everything's quiet. We don't even have any snow flying across the It is still out there with temperatures that are below freezing. So the snow that's on the ground has frozen up a little bit. Could have some slippery spots when you head outside. Temperatures are in the mid-20s. At least our visibility is doing all right. It's at the 10-mile maximum across the board. We'll be looking at when we'll have more snow moving in the forecast coming up as 6 News This Morning continues.
WLNS is here for you with 6 News This Morning.
Good morning, Mid-Michigan. It's Thursday, January 2nd. I'm Jorma Duran.
And I'm Megan Vaselli. Thank you so much for joining us.
6 News is here for you now with this morning's top stories. And Mother Nature wasted no time for the new year with snow falling on the first day of 2025.
And now get ready for the big chill as temperatures will continue to drop.
Yeah, this is what experienced Tuesday night on New Year's Eve and part of Wednesday too. Fortunately, temps were warm enough that the snow didn't stick to roadways initially, but now temperatures will progressively get colder until we drop into the mid-teens by the middle of next week. Safety officials are wanting to make sure people are bundled up and to keep an emergency kit with you when driving. And remember, you can get instant updates on conditions outside by clicking the weather tab on our website, WLNS.com, or download the free 6 News app to get your weather and news whenever and wherever you want.
At least 15 people now are confirmed dead after what's being called a New Year's Day terrorist attack in New Orleans. Investigators say 42-year-old Shamsuddin Jabbar was behind the wheel of a rented pickup truck that rammed into holiday crowds on Bourbon Street. We've since learned Jabbar was born in the U.S., lived in Texas, and was a U.S. Army veteran. He reportedly fired at the responding police officers who say they shot and killed him. This is what President Joe Biden said about the attack.
The FBI is leading the investigation to determine what happened, why it happened, whether there was any continuing threat to public safety.
Federal investigators now believe Jabbar had help. They found explosive devices inside the pickup that could have been detonated. Meanwhile, New Orleans officials have since admitted that more safety measures should have been in place to prevent this kind of thing from happening.
A faulty battery may not be to blame for a Tesla Cybertruck that exploded outside the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. Investigators are now revealing new information after the blast was caught on camera. Take a look. A surveillance camera records the moment the truck is blown to bits. One person was killed and several injured. Now take a look at what firefighters found inside after the flames were extinguished. There were mortars, gas canisters, and fireworks, and so terrorism is not being ruled out as a motive. Now, while the hotel is owned by President-elect Donald Trump, he was not inside when the blast took place.
Saw that smoke start showing from the vehicle, and then a large explosion from the truck occurs.
Now, while it's too early to say, investigators tell CBS News they're looking for a possible link between this explosion and the terror attack that killed 15 people in New Orleans. These are both developing stories, and so make sure to stay with WLNS TV for updates on CBS Mornings right after this newscast starting at 7 a.m.
We have an update this morning on a story we first told you about on Monday. An Oakland County family has suffered yet another tragedy. The devastation started last week when a 66-year-old man fell through the ice on Lake George in Addison Township while fishing with his grandson. First responders pulled him to safety and took him to the hospital, but we learned the man passed away yesterday. It's now a double loss for the Livonia area family. The man's wife, who was also 66 years old, was killed in a head-on crash the next day. We're told she was on her way to get her husband's vehicle after he was rushed to the ER.
If you bought a bag of broccoli from Walmart recently, we have a consumer alert to tell you about. Stores in 20 states, including Michigan, are now part of a recall over fears of a dangerous bacteria. 12-ounce bags that say market-side broccoli florets sold by Braga Fresh are part of the recall. They're suspected of being contaminated with listeria. While the packages are past their best if used by date, some consumers may still have them in their freezers. The FDA warns if you consume the broccoli, you could suffer a serious, even fatal infection, especially in young children and the elderly. Symptoms include high fever, headache, nausea, and diarrhea.
A Mid-Michigan family has a lot to celebrate already in the new year with the birth of their baby. She's among the state's first who arrived just after midnight at the start of 2025. Adeline came into the world at 1:40 Wednesday morning, making her the University of Michigan Health Sparrow Lansing's 2025 New Year's baby. She's the daughter of proud parents Trevor and Natalia, who live in Eagle. As the New Year's baby, the U of M Health Sparrow Foundation gifted Adeline and her parents a car seat, cozy stuffed animal, books, baby blankets, and more. From all of us here at TV6, congratulations to the Clough family on their new addition.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather on the Sixes, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
We have some snow on the grass in front of the Capitol this morning, but at least the roadways are snow-free. There's still a little bit of snow out there. It's lake effect. It's going to be heaviest over towards Grand Rapids, but by the time it gets to us, it's broken apart quite a bit. So don't expect any accumulation on the roadways, well, the major roadways for this morning. Could have a little bit throughout the day, especially on the side roads, but that's about it. Our temperatures continue to cool down by around 5 to 10 degrees, so it's put us in the 20s for the start of the day. That doesn't tell you the whole story, though, because there's also wind. That's what's blowing the lake effect in, right around 5 to 15 miles an hour sustained, and it's going to give us wind chills that look something like this. 12 now. That feels like temperature in Charlotte and Hillsdale. Here in Lansing, only feels like 14. So when you head outside, bundle up. It's not going to get much better throughout the day, and with gusts continuing to get up towards 25 miles an hour, might be a day where you just quickly run outside, let the pets out, and then come back in. The yellow paws initially are for that chance for snow and maybe even some ice on untreated areas like walkways. Bailey doesn't seem to mind, though, staying inside playing with the wrapping paper. Seems like just as much fun, honestly.
Yeah, rolling around in the wrapping paper.
Yeah, I might try that with the cats. We still have my brother's cats in the house. There's like 4 of them and 4 of us, and
wow.
Yeah, it still feels like we're outnumbered.
I was going to say, wow.
I would say
We're a cat family. It's fun, though.
Yeah.
As long as you're having fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, Katie, thank you. Coming up, man